What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you'll receive a notification every time that I drop a video, and you can go and check the video out. Leave a comment and leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you support me and support the Go Up movement. I know I have on the same shirt. That's because I'm back in these videos. I'm back to back in them. I don't know when this one will be dropped, but I'm doing it back to back. And I'm going to do another one after this. I might have on this shirt again. Don't judge me. I got other shirts. But right now I'm just going to work. I got to catch. I'm behind. I got to get on it. And this story takes place in the Los Angeles County Jail. This had to transpire back in 1999. And I was on the 2000 floor with Big Scotty from Raymond, C-Boy from Playboy Gangster, D-Loke or something from PDL, some other characters. And in the hole in the Los Angeles County Jail, the SouthSider's had unalived an older black dude, an old dude. He was in a cell by himself as far as other blacks were concerned. He was the only black in the cell, and there were 3 SouthSiders in the cell, all of them pretty young dudes. Whatever happened, whatever the situation was, I'll get into it with the statement that they put out. They ended up beating him to death. There in the cell. The dude had to be in his 60s. An old dude, probably an older smoker dude. The rumor was going around he was like a smoker or whatever. As if that mitigates what happened, or as if we should not respond or care over what happened because he was a smoker. I don't give a fuck what he smoked. He was black, and y'all unalived him. And I'm not happy. I'm not going for it. Fuck that. So, the Southsider said that the black dude, the older black dude, was in his cell being disrespectful. That the way he was eating sloppily, smacking with his food, that he was snoring a lot when they were trying to sleep, that he was snoring loud. I believe he had just came to jail, probably was tired as hell. Been up on the street, living whatever life he was living. So he in there snoring while he sleep. Okay, many people snore while they sleep. This is jail. You're in a cell with somebody else. This sort of shit is going to happen. You don't have your own privacy. And so the reasons that they were given seem rather minute for their response. They're saying that he was irritating and aggravating them inside of the cell. Again, with his eating habits, his sleeping habits, essentially that he was in there talking to himself sometimes in the cell. Okay, he ain't talking to y'all, he's still minding his own business. And y'all could have just moved him out of the cell if y'all don't want him in there. One day, apparently, an argument ensued after some infraction or another, or some slight, or some perceived slight by the Southsiders. They perceived something that he did as a slight. They confronted him, and they all began to argue and team up on the black dude. One of them eventually attacked him. And the black dude, from everyone's understanding, people heard what was going on right there in the hole. Well, he fought back. He started swinging back and apparently had dropped one of the Southsiders. Apparently at first they were just going to attack him without a weapon. It's 3-on-1. He's an older dude. They feel like they can get him and still brutalize him without a weapon. Clearly that was their plan. But when he fought back and they realized the weight of his strength, by dropping one of them, and the dude stayed on the ground for a minute, curled up in the fetal position, crying out in pain, the Southsiders then grabbed a weapon, feeling like, hell, he might whoop all 3 of us in here. they began to attack him with the weapon. Stabbed him a couple times and then hit his head up against a bunk. That's what caused his death. It wasn't even the stab wounds. They hit his head against a bunk. And he had a, bleeding of the brain or something. And the old man passed away. The word came back out to the main line, what had transpired there in the hole. Now the hole, again, I've mentioned it many a time on my channel, they have different politics everywhere in the hole than they do on the main line, whether it's the county jail or the penitentiary. The politics are just different. And so some blacks wanted to leave what had happened in the hole right there in the hole. And said, really, it doesn't have anything to do with us out here on the main line because the politics are different. Whatever happened there really is supposed to stay there in the hole. It's not supposed to filter out into the main line. This is true. Nevertheless, this was a very obviously serious situation, and not one I felt like should be left in the hole. This needs to spread out. There has to be a response to this, regardless. Now, many blacks were on the same page that I was on, and they felt the same way. No, we cannot. We must disallow this to go without a response. But again, there were a few blacks who felt like we should just leave it right there. The dude was old, he was a smoker, wasn't from any particular hood, had probably aggravated the SouthSider's, and they didn't, they wasn't trying to unalive him. They hit his head against the bunk and he ended up dying, bro. This is the sort of thing that happens here in jail. I get it. Nevertheless, if we ever expect to have any modicum of respect inside of these walls, there's going to have to be a response to this, regardless of the politics and the difference of the politics in the whole and on the main line. There's exceptions to every rule. There's going to have to be an exception to this one. And all of the blacks got on the same page and decided to mount a formidable response. We all understood that the response and the attack was going to be heartfelt, was going to have to be heartfelt and vicious in order for us to redeem our brother and save face. Really, if I'm being honest, my thought process was to unalive one of them. I felt like we needed to, that there had to be an eye for an eye. Well, all of the tragedies in the history of the black man here on this planet and here in this racist country, it all came flooding back to me in clear vision. That some of the instances that took place in history, there was no adequate response or no response whatsoever. And this is why these things continue on. Because they can unalive a black man and then go to McDonald's and eat a burger and laugh and talk about it. But the minute that they begin to unalive black people, and black people begin to unalive them in response, their mothers, fathers, and damn kids, if necessary, then it should have stopped. We do it to each other. We crash out on each other all the time. But we don't crash out on anyone else. We allow every fucking thing. Sickening. And I was sick of it then, as I am now. And though I was a bit younger, I had strength and fortitude and understood the assignment. I'm no hero. I wasn't alone again. 95% of the blacks felt like a response was imminent and warranted and that it had to happen immediately. And so we began to plot and plan there in the module how best to respond to the SouthSider's attack on a defenseless black man who lost his life there in the hole. We came up with a plan to attack them in the day room with weapons to get one. We had one in mind that we really wanted, and we wanted to unalive him. I did. He was one of the heavy hitters. I'm not even going to mention who he was. But we wanted to get him. I did. And the day room, it was upon us. Everyone knew what their assignment was and what their position was and really who they were supposed to attack. We had singled out a few people. And the reason for the single out was clear. When the word had went out about our brother losing his life there in the hole, we went to the SouthSider's there in the module. And we explained to them that we wanted something done about this. That the people who were responsible for this needed to get a serious issue from the SouthSiders. They needed to be smashed. Not just DP'd, but stabbed up, bro, if not unalived. And the SouthSiders there in the module, again, the politics are different in the whole, and this is what they alluded to, that they really have no control over what happens inside of the whole. The whole has its own set of shot callers and their own politics, and essentially, they cannot get involved. This response and answer was insufficient, inadequate, and really a slap in the face, insulting our intelligence because something could have been done and should have been done about what had transpired. The assignment was then clear. Man, we had to get these dudes. And the attack must be brutal. And we knew that day room was coming up. So we plotted and we strategized. And we all entered the day room with dubious and diabolical intentions. All of us had weapons. Certainly the SouthSiders had weapons as well. Understanding the tension that was there in the module. They knew that we wanted something done about what had just transpired there in the hole. We made that clear. They also knew that since they said they were not going to do anything about it, certainly they had to know that something was coming down the pipeline, that we were going to respond. So they were somewhat prepared. There in the day room, they had weapons of their own. We were not deterred. We went inside of the day room, and the dude who was the target that we really wanted to unalive, we had a hit on this. We wanted to unalive him because we felt like it had to happen in order for us to be even. We had to get a heavy hitter and let these people know we're not about to be playing. You put your hands on a black man and take his life. This is when we're going to take one of y'all. We're going to take your heavy hitter out, bro. And it's going to be what it's going to be. We're not afraid. It's war anyway all day with y'all. We're having riots, bloody riots all day, every day anyway. What's going to happen? There's going to be more riots? There are already riots here every day. We don't give a fuck. And we went inside of the day room, weapons in tow, and immediately drew our weapons and attacked the SouthSiders. I grabbed the one who was the target and dragged him over there by the toilet. And yeah, I hit him a couple times, and a few blacks came over there and started to stab the dude up. We wanted him gone. The SouthSiders realizing what was going on, that we wanted their heavy hitter out of the way, because all of the focus was on him for the most part. They did come over there and save their partner. They came over there swinging their weapons, bagged a couple of blacks up off of him, and he was able to get up and get out of there, leaking bad. They pretty much had to drag him from the corner where he was at over there in the fetal position, balled up, trying to stop the knife thrust. And they got him out of harm's way, and the riot ensued, or it continued for some time there in the day room. The police came spraying this stuff, but it was smoky in there, and there was a lot of violence, and a lot of people stabbing each other. Some blacks got stabbed as well, but not severely. But the SouthSider who was the target, he nearly lost his life there in the day room. He survived, which I wasn't happy about. Not that I'm a killer, but I did want an eye for an eye. I did not want that brother's death to go unavenged. I was pissed, sick of it. Sick of these people, thinking they can just unalive us, and that's just going to be fucking that. What the hell is wrong with these people? With everyone. So we attack with anger and emotion and self-pride and black pride. Understanding that we had to even the score. There were about 4 blacks over there on that Mexican that was the target. And we were indeed, unequivocally, trying to unalive him. We had a hit out on him. And we were close. He received upwards of 16 to 17 stab wounds. But he made it, barely. They took him to the hospital on the street. And we got word a couple days later that he had survived, but barely. And we were pretty much disappointed, ready to go up again. The SouthSider's then came to us after that situation and said that they would indeed handle the dudes who had did what they did to the OG there in the hole. They changed their minds. I'm glad that they did, because I don't think we would have stopped until one of them was unalive, or some more of us was unalive, however it's going to go. But this shit is about to go up. It's going to keep on going until one of y'all are gone or y'all handle that situation, bro. We're not going for it. We're not going to sit back and go for this. They understand that we are so fractured, that we have all of these factions and sections that oppose one another. They know this, and they play off of it, as does every race. They play on our division, on our inability to unite. The separation that has plagued the black man for generations is often exploited by every race. The only way to combat this is to unify. They sent his ass to the hospital and he survived. They attacked the SouthSiders that had unalived the black man in the hole and nearly unalived one of them. We were satisfied with that. And that was the end of it. A couple of blacks were stabbed up in the day room. Multiple SouthSiders were stabbed up in the day room. One of them extremely severely, nearly lost his life, but he didn't. But it was close. And that's what happened there in the Los Angeles County Jail in 1999 or so. Because I was there at the end of 98, most of 99. So it had to be in 1999. They killed the black in the hole. In fact, it happened again recently. Now, someone in the comments has said that I must have been talking about Gucci from somewhere else, not Crenshaw Mafia. They said there is no Gucci from Crenshaw Mafia. When I did a story and I was mentioning Gucci's name from Crenshaw Mafia, let me be clear. They said, man, you must have made a mistake. You must have had it wrong because you already talked about Gucci from PDL. So now maybe you made a mistake and just was talking about him again, but you said from Crenshaw Mafia. No, sir, no mistake was made. Gucci from Crenshaw Mafia. He was just on the 2000, well, not just, but in 2016, 15, 17, he was running a 26-2800. Gucci from Crenshaw Mafia. That's the name that he was claiming. Light brown skinned dude with little like curly hair. Tattoos everywhere. Had size on him. He had big juice on the 2000 floor, big juice in the module. Some people felt like he was a police, that he was making too many police moves. But, he was there. And that is his name. Gucci from Crenshaw Mafia. That's the hood he was claiming. That's the name that he was claiming. 10 billion %. Anybody who was in that module or on that floor, or really even in the county jail at that time, can tell you what I'm talking about. Because again, his name was ringing everywhere. He was running the 2000 floor, running 26-28 at this time. And he had a lot of juice with the police. He was making too many moves with the police. A lot of people was not feeling Gucci. Felt like he was a cop, not a shot caller. But he was there and he was claiming that. And something happened with him there. I'll get into that though. But that was indeed his name. But that's what happened there in the Los Angeles County Jail in 1999. They killed a black, unalived him for trivial reasons. Something minute. He was snoring and smacking when he was eating. So they decided to brutalize him and end his life. And we responded and was looking to brutalize them and end at least one of their lives. We were unable to do so, though we tried and we were close. You know, you got to hit certain arteries. You got to get the right spot. But we were trying and we were close because, you know, everyone needs to understand that the black man is not going to be going for you putting your hands on us and unaliving us and there be no response. Everyone needs to stop getting away with this. That includes the police. Everyone. The dude that killed and unalived our beautiful young sister, Sonia Massey, the racist cop. He should not be in jail. He should be dead. His whole family, they know he's a racist. They sit around saying the N-word with him. His friends, they sit around, they encourage this behavior. They are part of the problem. Go after all of them. When they understand that when they have these actions, that the repercussions will be severe, that they're putting the lives of their entire families in jeopardy, then they won't be doing this stuff. George Zimmerman, as I've said before, it makes me sick to my soul, to my stomach, that this man, George Zimmerman, is allowed, was allowed, continues to be allowed to come to our neighborhood, unalive a 17-year-old black man, Trayvon Martin, for no reason. He thought he was up to something. And he's in his own neighborhood, you know, steps away from his own home, a child, coming back from the store, buying a pack of Skittles. He brutally unalives him. Goes to trial. Not surprisingly, he gets off, he beats the case. Because America is sick. They're racist. They say that you're the criminal. They say that I'm the criminal. Yet these devils, and that's what they are, these devils are able to go around and brutally unalive people. And they're not considered criminal. You call me a criminal. Instead of the people who are suffused with white supremacy and self-supremacy and go around brutalizing and attacking the entire world. They have convinced you that I'm the problem. And you, with your weak mind and your inability to think for yourself, you believe it. George Zimmerman, after unaliving our brother and getting off scot-free, the American way, kill a black man, you're going to go free. The man makes a mockery out of Trayvon Martin's life. He sets up some sort of situation where he's selling packs of Skittles and autographing them because Trayvon Martin had a pack of Skittles on him when he unalived him. It was a big thing that he had Skittles and not a weapon. It was a big thing in the media. So in order to mock Trayvon Martin, the man that he brutally unalived, the child that he brutally unalived, he holds some little rally where people can come, line up, and buy packs of Skittles from him that he's autographing to mock Trayvon Martin's life. If you didn't do it on purpose, why are you making fun of it? This man has a mother and a father. He has a whole community that loves him. Why are you making fun of it? And I say to you, black man, black man, black man, listen. George Zimmerman, when he was at that place, sitting down with a box full of Skittles and signing these packs of Skittles and selling them to people, everyone who was lined up to come and buy a pack of Skittles from George Zimmerman, making a mockery out of Trayvon Martin's life, every one of those racist bastards that came to buy a pack of Skittles to laugh at the life of this young black man who was brutally unalived by this devil. Everyone who was lined up to spend money on a pack of Skittles making a mockery of a child's death should have been killed. Should have been dead. Every one of them. Every one of them fucking devils that lined up to come and make fun of our brother. Somebody should have came. Carloads of motherfucking black young thug gangbangers. The same way y'all load up in cars and you drive into a black neighborhood and unalive black kids. You tough motherfuckers. Where was y'all at? How come y'all didn't load up in cars with weaponry in broad daylight and go to that function? And everyone that was there, everyone that was there, George Zimmerman and everyone that was there to buy the Skittles. You jump out the car, you walk up to them. This is not a drive-by. You walk up to them in their face, you grab them, you stick the weapon, boom, and you pull the fucking trigger in front of everybody. Then and only then will you get your fucking respect and get your freedom in this fucking country, bro. Believe me, the other shit ain't working. Holding hands and marching and walking into, that's not working. It's never worked. If it worked, we wouldn't have to be doing it now. If it worked back in the 60s, we wouldn't have to be doing it in the fucking 2000s. Because it worked. The problem was solved back then. So the fact that we still have to march and hold rallies means that the marching and rallies didn't work back then. So that shit don't work. That peace shit ain't gonna get it. Peace with one another, yes sir. But we not seeking peace from no fucking body else that don't want peace with us. Fuck them. And until you get that, then now you're gonna say, oh, so he's advocating for death. He's advocating for violence. No, sir. Just for revenge. Just for atonement. Just for a response. I'm not asking anyone to do anything to anyone that didn't do anything to us. I'm talking about someone who has it coming. I'm talking about someone who unalived a young child. It don't tell me that you're not prone to violence, black man, that you don't believe in violence, because you're unaliving one another at an alarming rate. Brutal attacks on one another, crashing out on each other. Broad daylight, all kinds of shit. But ain't nobody crashing out for the race. Ain't nobody crashing out for the people. Ain't nobody crashing out on Sonya Massey's murderer. Ain't nothing happened to him. What happened to him? He in jail. What he fucking do? Probably eating fucking steak and french fries in jail. No, he shouldn't be in jail. Sonya Massey didn't go to jail. She died. So he should have died too. That's it. Period. That's it. And until that shit starts happening, we're going to continue to find ourselves in these same situations. George Zimmerman, let me make it clear. Don't monetize this video. I don't give a fuck. George Zimmerman should be dead. Let me say it again for those of you motherfuckers in the back. The reason that the black man doesn't have any respect in this country is because people like George Zimmerman is still walking around. They say, y'all ain't fucking tough. Y'all a joke. Y'all are tough as hell when it comes to one another. Y'all walk around in broad daylight with your weapon. Y'all crash out. Dump one in another black man's head with no mercy. But this motherfucking devil is able to come to your own neighborhood, unalive one of y'all children in y'all community, and y'all don't do, and then make a mockery of it, and y'all don't do nothing. Y'all did nothing. Y'all a fucking joke. That's what they think. They think we're a fucking joke. What happened when white people felt slighted about the election? They stormed the Capitol. Black people has had more reason than anyone else in the world to storm the Capitol for decades upon decades. They stormed the Capitol over some perceived slight in the election. People died. Police were brutalized. Politicians in there hiding under fucking desk, under the desk, scared for their fucking life. All because they were just a little upset. Can you imagine then? If they were being lynched, if their children were being fucking brutalized and murdered, what they would have done by now? If they stormed the Capitol over that shit, could you imagine them facing 1% of the shit that we face in this country from this damn government? But we ain't stormed. Yeah, it would have been a massacre, as everybody said. Yeah, black stormed them. It would have been a massacre. We dying anyway, bro. So what? We going there with our shit, and it's going to be a massacre on both ways. Some of y'all finna die too. We've been had reason to storm the fucking Capitol and have them racist ass politicians that's making these laws, sending our children to prison forever. We should have had their ass running under desk. Because trust me, had we stormed the Capitol and did that and said, you know, 1,000 black motherfuckers stormed it with weapons and start getting off. We tired of this shit. We tried to give y'all a chance to make this shit right, America. We gave you generations to correct your fucking wrong, you sick motherfuckers, and y'all refuse to do it. It's come to this now. They'd have been running around in that motherfucker, hiding in the desk, begging for their life, saying, we got to start treating the blacks better. We can't do this. Laws would have changed that day, immediately. What is it that y'all want? They would have changed laws immediately, bro. But we've never done anything like that because we can't organize. We can't come together. All we can do is unalive one another. That's it. That's all we good for. George Zimmerman and these officers that have unalived blacks all over this damn country should be dead. Every one of them. Not in jail. 6 feet under. And until we start putting squads together to hunt these people down and take them out of their miserable lives, when they take one of our lives, we will be in the same position. That's it. Didn't mean to get off track. It is what it is. I feel how I feel. I don't give a fuck what you two got to say. It is what it is. Get it together. And I'm going to be right here on the front line, weapon in tow. I ain't talking about it. I'm going to be right here with y'all. It's us. I'll be back, man. In the meantime, stay free, people.